It should be fairly simple watch list, actually. We haven't really moved much in terms of the market as anticipated as we're approaching the month of December. So we can expect the last couple of days, maybe, or even next week, for the portfolios to be rebalanced, meaning the hedge funds are going to be looking to start rebalancing some of the portfolios and taking some stuff off. And it's a good idea to start watching some sectors, right? Like some ETFs and see where the money is going in, right? So we'll keep an eye on it. But in terms of, tonight's plan and tomorrow's plan, it's fairly simple. So we had the 38.73 range that we were stuck under. If you guys look at it here, this was also the POC. If I pull it right here, so 38.72 was the POC. If you grabbed it from the top all the way to the bottom here, if you grab that, the POC is right there. So we had to get over that, but we do have the SR flip here. So if you go back on like maybe even 3 hours, you'll be able to see that SR maybe just slightly above, maybe somewhere around here. Yep, so I don't know if I moved it much. So we have an SR flip there basically waiting, and we'll see how we react to it. There's a high chance that we're going to get over it. We might have a little pullback just because of this gap here that we have to hold. So if you're able to get over that, high chance you go at 39.12. Did any of you swing the 3,900 calls?
Order filled.
I did SPY.
Yeah, I swung the 3,900 calls at $135. They're about 4 or 5. Hopefully they open there. It'll be about 240%. So if we can hop over this 39.12 level, then things brighten up and you have a chance to go all the way to about, I would say, if you look at this volume here, so the best thing you could grab then is just kind of go from here to see where the volume is. Somewhere around 39.26. And I remember this level from before I left on the trip to Europe. I kept telling you guys that 39.26 was fairly important level, and it is still. So we really need to hop over that level, and then we have the potential to potentially go all the way to 4,000. So that'll be somewhere around here that we would go to, right here. And it's fairly simple. I just don't know if we have enough juice or what the news might come out to hop over 39.12. In that case, just make sure you have your previous day sessions marked, so that way you at least know what kind of time frame we're looking at and what kind of bullishness we're gonna have. So let's see here. Why is it extending? So we're well above the PD POC here, so you should keep an eye on that. And you guys see that this will become your this range right here on the top. It's going to be a nice support. If we do drop back down, this will be a nice support. 38.72 is going to be acting as a nice support. So I will definitely keep an eye on that if there's any retracements overnight. And that's what we're kind of rejecting right now. If you guys see it, you see this. We hit the PD POC, the POC drop, and we're coming back down. So let's see how far we retrace. No, I'm sorry, here. So if you do this fibs from this cluster to here, then you have another thing here, which is 382. So if we have a healthy upfront, it'll bounce here and then potentially maybe take this supply out here. But this is going to be a pretty heavy supply here. I would think that they're going to be defending this. And you have about that 39.24, the cumulative POC from here. Let's see how far we go. Let's just make sure it's here. So this level here is going to be pretty tough to get over. So if we can clear this, I would say the 4,000, even 40.50 is doable. I would think you could make the run here at 40.40, 40.50. So these are the main levels that I'll be looking for. Nothing in below, nothing in between, just because you want to catch at least some bigger moves so you avoid, if you're playing SPX, to avoid the theta burn as much as possible. If you're trading options, then you can use 2 to 1, depending on what you're trading and the balance, but you could use 2 to 1 ratio, 2 reward, 1 risk, and go from there. So any questions on ES? Okay, on SPY, so if you guys take a look at this, I'm just going to delete all of it. I like to look at it on 65 minutes first, just naked chart. So if you guys look here, what do you guys can tell from this picture right here?
We're out of the imbalance, or we're out of balance.
We're in a larger balance still, right? So if you think about it, this is your balance, right?
Oh, I just meant out of the one from before.
Yep. So this is the one that you should be aware of here as we are coming up here, like right up to here. Look what's coming up here. Let me just grab the last candle. Look at this POC right here at 385.99, so 386. There's a high chance that we're going to reject that level. So I would definitely on SPY, I would watch. Oh, man, struggling with that. So high chance we're going to be coming up to this level and potentially rejecting. And if you guys go on like a little bit higher time frames, you'll be able to tell what. Can anyone tell what's going on the daily maybe? I'll delete this so you can see the daily. Anyone got the picture of it? Like what's happening here? Stay focused from here to the right.
I mean, support turn resistance.
Yeah, so you have a nice little support, right? So you have it here, right? I would say somewhere around here, you have a really nice level that you're going to have and multiple rejections here. So support, rejection, rejection, try to hold it, lost it. So there's a high chance we might go here. But then this cluster right here, if you guys take a look at it and kind of zoom in, this is also a nice balance area that we had. So if we're going to come back to it, there's a high chance you go to 390 and there's a potential you might reject there. So if you grab this candle right here, let me just grab this, and you just kind of draw the line. Now that even looks better than the previous one. You had a bounce, bounce, bounce. You zoom in. Let's go on the daily real quick. Bounce here, you broke it. So now if we can call back up here, this is a pretty good short, right? Another way to check that, right, is to grab this right here and let them see, because a lot of times what they might do here is pull it back inside, get the shorts kind of struggling here, and then we might reject right from here. So you have two levels for the rejection, right, that we just talked about. So on smaller time frames, on 65 minutes, you have a supply here. So this is your 65-minute supply right here. And then if you get over that, then you have a $5 round to 390. If you're able to hop over that, 395. Okay. But there's a big supply here. I mean, if you guys look at it, we were dancing on this level for some time. Here, imbalance hop. And now we broke it and we never came back for a retest to the 395. So as a part of the Santa rally, maybe, just maybe, they pushed that up to the higher end, right? So I'll definitely watch these levels that I marked here and see how we do from there. On Qs, this one's a little bit trickier than the rest, just because we broke this trend line here that you guys are seeing
Order
on the
filled.
daily. We had a nice little trend line, and now I would not be shocked if we kind of push it to 270 and reject there. So let me see. I would think somewhere around here, probably a little bit higher. A little bit higher, we'll draw a little zone around it. They could be pushing this up to here, and then we would see what happens, right? Same story as SPY. There was a balance, right? These here are just liquidity grabs. So if you guys look here, this is our balance. If they really want to try, catch some people off, they could do this where they push it from here. And this would be your next level of perfect short would be around 282. This would be the level that I'll be interested in entering some maybe potential swing shorts here in this level. It'd be in this area that I'll be looking to get in short. Does it make sense why? So if you guys look at it, this is kind of the daily. If you guys look at this, there's a supply right here. So on each one of these, there's a high chance for rejection, but it's much weaker than the one above it. So you have this one here, just a little cluster here, high volume nodes, tick volume. We were able to hop here, so I mean, this would be about $14 run. That would be pretty good. 5% gain into the Santa rally. That would be pretty decent, right? And then I think here it would be wise, pretty smart to switch to some puts. At least for me, I will. Okay. You guys see any relevance to this level highlighted? Anyone else? How about now?
Just previous support and resistance.
Yeah, it's a big level, guys. I mean, it was support here, then, you know, we danced around to here, we came back, rejected it, rejected here, and then multiple touches here and then broke down. So we need to come back and reject it now. And this is the volume accumulation set up off the daily, and those are pretty good. Okay. Let's see. I know if people are gonna ask about this one. So Tesla, I mean, it needs to bounce. I did some studying on it, you know, just to look at the releases on the cars. So tomorrow we should get some numbers from China for Tesla production over there. So let's see what they do. They need to do about 100,000 cars sold. So if they do, that might cause a little run on Tesla itself. And Tesla on daily, if you guys look, this is where the accumulation happened right here. So it could pop. I mean, it has a little bit of shelves in between. You guys see how, you know, it comes, accumulates, so it could pop all the way to this level, which should be like 137. So a small supply here, and then a little bit bigger supply right there. If they're able to push it to this POC right here, this will be a really good zone to take a little stab at longer shorts, maybe even below $100 on Tesla. Okay. Let's see. NQ is kind of holding for dear life here. Okay, so we're trying to reclaim this level. So if you guys look here, let me go on reclaiming. I would say this level here is pretty important. And then we'll do this. So this is a fairly important level. If we can stay above this, and obviously everyone can see the massive head and shoulders that's being created. If you're to dump this, and I'm not trying to put a lot of projections on it, but you know, you're looking for potentially another 33% down from this level, which would be somewhere around here. So close pre-COVID lows, about 7,000 on it. But I would anticipate that we're going to get a little bounce here. So if we're able to get this bounce, but if you guys look here on the daily, same thing as SPY, guys. I mean, this is the massive level is right here at 11.6. So if they're able to push this to 11.6, this is your major daily volume accumulation setup, and I would expect them to dump this around somewhere in this zone here. So if they're able to do that, that's great. I think we'll be ready for it. And then if you just look at this accumulation here, so they're going to be accumulating, and that could be the top of this accumulation too. You know, they might offload some, create some liquidity in the market, and kind of dump it from here. So we'll definitely watch this 11.6. See if they have the, the juice to bring it up there. If you look at smaller time frames, what do you guys tell on this one? Where is it headed? This one's fairly simple. Intraday short right here. So, I mean, it's not far. It's what, 160 points away. And we do have a volume node here that we are sitting at right now. So let's see what we do here. We need to hop over this level. I would say hop over 11 to 10. Then you have the ability for another 130 points here to run through. So that's something that we should definitely watch for. Okay. Any questions on this? And if there's a retracement, fairly simple, just do this. This will be our buy zone. If we do retrace back to this level, I would think go long here. This will be our short. Okay.
And in between, just wait for a retest of that node.
Yep. I mean, you see how massive the shelf is right here.
That's huge. Oh yeah, now we include the rest.
Yeah, so if you grab all of this, you have this massive shelf that we're kind of sitting at right now. And we're trying to reclaim this, from the fall here, we're trying to reclaim the value area low, which is sitting right here. And we did a retest already. So if you guys look here, we came in, popped, and then kind of, if you go on smaller time frames, you'll be able to see it. You see how we rejected this level, went, popped, and now we're ready to kind of potentially go higher. So now, there's a high chance we go to 11.2. And if you're able to go over 11.210, then we're setting up a nice chance, 11.283 and then 11.330. This level is going to be hard to breach here, in my opinion. I don't think we will close above this for the year end. Right here. Okay, does this make sense to everyone, what I'm covering?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. What tickers you guys got?
DIA.
Yeah, okay, well, DIA is coming up to a really good short. So this is your 5-minute, and it looks pretty dangerous here at this level, the 333 on 65 minutes. Probably going to be the same supply like SPY. Yep. Delete this. And then if you're able to get this level, kind of close above this level, I would say close here. This is your support, turn resistance. If you're able to kind of close over here, because we'll probably gap up tomorrow. If we're able to hop over this, hold it, then your next short is sitting right here at 340. And when you think about it, that would be what, like, so about maybe what, 5% if we get to here, right? Get 2.5% from here. So I think that's doable. This would be the short level, true short level here. And then if you want to go long, you know what to do here. I would think that you can go long here. And if that's gap down or whatever, you can look at the value area low of this level, which should be like 326-ish. This would be the go long on that one. And then this is your SR flip. Hopefully you can see that. So you have a chance for a rejection here, right? Just based on the smaller time frame at 65 minutes. Also, it looks better on like 15 minutes because you see it here. So if I remove this guy and remove this guy, you're able to see this accumulation, right? Does everybody see this?
And there's a little gap.
So what do you guys think is happening when you see an accumulation like this? So what do you think is happening in the backside of the things of the market?
They're offloading.
No, first. So I added some stuff for you guys. So let me go change some stuff, added more stuff. Let me show what I added here. Did I open the wrong one? Where's the stuff? Oh. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I'll have to look into it. None of the slides are saved. What in the world? Sorry, guys. Oh my god. And I added. I added a lot of slides. That's some BS. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of worried about this now. 1 second. Oh, okay. I found it. Okay. I was like, what in the world? So simple, like I showed you guys before. Institutions, when they're buying, they need time, whether it's intraday move or it's a longer move. They need time to accumulate, right? When you're dealing with billions of dollars, sometimes trillions, they need time to accumulate. So when you look at a chart, for instance, like this, they're trying to build up a position real quick and then they're going to make their move, right? So catching moves like this initially is pretty hard, and that's the volume accumulation setup. So now we're testing to see, as they come up to this price, are these people going to defend their level that they created an imbalance from last time? So if you guys think about it here, you know, it happens a lot. If I just grab from here to here, where did we reject last time? We came back here and they respected the level. And then they sent it lower, they gapped it up. And now from here, there's a high chance that they're going to respect this level. If we hop over it, then it's fairly simple. Then we go to the next level and we look to see where's the next imbalance and what they're trying to do. And that happens literally on every chart. Here, SPY 10 minutes. Let me see. On the volume. So here's the, you know, the sideways and accumulation, what it means. I just added some of the info, especially for newer people, to understand what it truly means that they're doing. Here's another example here, buying, selling with the targets, potential stop loss. And here's another one, like currently SOXL. I mean, look at this massive, and I'm grabbing this. I believe this is like a weekly or a monthly time frame. Look at the accumulation here. We popped, we created a huge imbalance here, and we're coming back right to it. So I know it's a leveraged ETF, but it's not a bad idea maybe to buy some further out leaps and just sit on them. Here's another one that I was kind of adding for an example. Same thing, you guys see it. Your eyes should be looking for these little zones where they're accumulating, like this one here. They're accumulating, they drop it. Once you come back, that's a short opportunity. And if you're using like weekly, daily, and let's say 4 hours, those are not bad swing opportunities, right? You can use them to swing. So I think I was looking at, is it pawn? No, what's this one? Yeah. If you guys look at this, how many people think it's a good shorting opportunity here?
Calls.
Yeah, it's got to break first.
Yeah.
You got to break
How
and
many people do you
retest.
guys think is gonna? How many people
It'll
are
break
gonna?
or bounce. If it bounces, then it's a call. If it breaks and retests from the underside, then it's a short.
This
Yes.
is what we need. And
Yes.
a lot of people, especially that I'm seeing, I mean, I see people post and I'm like, dude, what? Like, why is this going away? Okay, well, doesn't want to do the escape anymore. So anyways, you want the retest. You want to get the retest here to take a short. You don't take a short here. What can happen here if you take this short right here on the break?
Take you out.
Could just be a test, a spring.
There would be a liquidity grab. They come under, they grab the liquidity and they say, thank you, we're just gonna reverse.
Thank you for the money.
I mean,
Just
it did
like
the
they
last
did
time
here.
it was there.
I mean,
Yeah,
think about this. Look at this. They grabbed it here. People are like, oh my gosh, short, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. But now, watch this. If I do this to up to here, is it better to go along here or here?
Down
Below.
below.
POC.
A lot of
Yes.
people, so think about the psychology. How many retailers are like, man, this is a triple bottom, I'm going long?
All of them.
Probably every single one right now.
Including
There's
Kramer.
there's no setup for this group on this chart. And I just want to make sure you guys understand that there's not a single setup right here. Either we get the setup on a break and short from here, and you would close your short here. And what would you do here? You would do what they do. You would join the track on the train. Okay, close my short and go long.
Go along.
And that will be the way to play it. And then you would just grab the fibs. If you grab the March low to the highs, and let's see what they send us. And here you go. So this would be about the 50 here. So you would be aware of this level here, but I would not touch it. Like for me, this is the level I'm looking at. Like this is what you want. If you're a swing trader, if you want shares or whatnot, this is a good level. I mean, and you know, below this, they accumulated accidentally right before COVID. Somehow they accumulated a lot here, 69. And did they ever come back to retest this level? Nope, they never did. They did something that I've shown you guys before. They do it all the time. It's called a spring. And if you take this even lower, if you just put it right here, this is called a spring. They accumulate or a market maker pattern. It's basically they get you out thinking it's short. They grab all the stop losses that are below the support from the retail. They grab the shares and then they send it higher. How many people you guys think got stopped out here? In March 20th, like when the whole COVID started, everybody started selling and panicking, right? And all they did is like, okay, well, interest rates is 0. Let's just buy it. And now, I mean, there's a high chance that this goes here as well, but it's going to get a bounce on this level. There's a buyer, a new buyer that came in. He's going to be defending this level and we can play to defend that level. So that's something you need to start spotting this on every time frame that you see. And it happens literally on every time frame here. You guys see it here? It's a bearish one. So for me, do I have an opportunity to go along here? I don't know. I didn't grab enough data to look at it. I don't have anything to grab this off. Some people might play this based on the opposite liquidity grabs and grab calls, but that's also risky. What if they dump it, right? They could trap longs here. They could trap shorts here as well. It's more probable to play calls than puts right here for me, if I was to play, but there's no setup for me. So in smaller time frames, I would look to short it if it comes up to this level, and then you know I'm grabbing 30 minutes now. Watch now. Look at this supply right here. So around 150, and you guys know the psychology of even numbers, that would be good. But look at this shelf here that's created right below the POC. You guys see it? Right at 150. Look at this. So if they want to push it, yeah, they could definitely get it here. And then if you want something smaller to this guy, it's going to be here. And that's what you're looking for. So for me, instance, when you have something like, you know, conflicting, I'd rather get in at 150 than 147. You could get a starter pack at 147, but be mindful and know that this is your average down opportunity, right? And then if it starts going in your way and you break this level, then you can add more to your position on the short side. Okay. Does that make sense? Sideways? if I have autosave on. Maybe I should turn it on. What did I just do? I'll do it afterwards. Okay, what tickers you guys got? What do you guys have in mind? Let's see the setups. Who's got it?
Apple.
Apple. Let's look at Apple. Apple's at a major support. I've been telling you about this level for how long, guys? Major level. I mean, this is, so grab this POC, go to the highs, and look at the, the volume in this area. It starts picking up. So there's a chance that they break below this level and they dip right here, which is 122.96. So for me, is there a bounce coming? Yes, this is a retail bounce that's going to come here. And they might drive this. I would think they could potentially drive it. They have this level here of a gap. So 137, so about $7 run, which is not something Apple can do. I've seen it done. I think they would protect this level right here. And there would also be some kind of flip here. If you guys see a rejection, support, and then it came here, quickly rejected. So if it does come to this level, that'd be good. And if you go on a daily and you look at this level, I would think you can find, look at this range here. So if you just grab this guy from here to here, if they want to go higher, then this is ideal short for Apple. And they also have some shelves, like right here at 141. The value area low of that's 138. So, and then there's a shelf here that we just talked about as well. In this area. And then you have a minor one here at 135. I would probably short the 135. Start entering 135 and play like 120 March puts, 123s, or whatever it's available. Does that make sense? And then on smaller time frames, I'm pretty sure you'll find, if you look at it day to day, it's been accumulating, and I would say has a pattern that retail loves to trade being formed here. So you have a head and shoulders. And then, you see how slowly it goes down. This is a drag down, like slowly. It's not violent down. So from here, I would say from here, let's say to all the way down. So they accumulated a lot here, because if I was to put this down here, the POC is not going to be here.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Hey. So if you guys look here, look where we rejected. Do you guys think this is a surprise, or like it's a coincidence we hit this to a penny here and rejected down? I don't think so. And now, what would mean if it rolls up and it runs to this level, 135.44? From the market structure perspective, what would it mean? So you have lower high, lower high, lower high. It kind of made a structure here, made a higher high, higher lows. Then they made lower lows, lower high. So now if it comes up to this level here, it would continue to trend down on the higher time frames that we have, because this would be the lower highs if it comes up to here from this point. So it will still be in a bearish trend here if you guys see it. So in 65 minutes, it will come up here, and then this would be a really nice rejection here on Apple. So this is the level I'll be looking on Apple for shorting here. And if they decide to run it, more, then what did we say that there was like 140 something, 145-ish. So you have a major shelf here, 145, even 146, I would call it. That would be a pretty nice dump here, because this is a pretty massive buyer sellers in this range. So the wider the range it is, what does it mean? When you have a range that's pretty wide, what does it mean? Yes, the longer the accumulation, distribution, but it also means you have a lot of participants playing in the market, right? When it's super tight, you have less people participating, and they're not really happy with the wide range of prices. They're not accepting value as high. So it means when you're accepting like this high, pretty here, what, like 153 to the low, I would say whatever this is here. 134 to 155, so $20 range. Let's go in 3 hours. So somewhere around here, you're looking at like $14 here, and then to the top of this guy. Yeah, so you're looking about, $20 range here if we can get in. But 135, I would say this is a good SR flip here as well. I would look to short it here. Here's your 4 hours. Yeah, this looks pretty good short here in this range. AMBA, I don't know what that is. Umbrella. What did they do?
Semiconductor.
Oh yeah. US?
I don't know about that.
Oh, they hit this POC from accumulation point down. I mean, this is good. They're gonna come back to 53. We're gonna hit this one more time.
Yeah, I didn't like that 90 level.
So if you guys look here, it has this shelf here that's sitting right now. I just don't know if it can, I mean, if it can hop over this and close above this level, call it 87, then I would say probably find the 50% retracement of this. It could go there, but I don't know how long it's gonna take. Remember, I'm on a weekly chart. So it could go up to this level, which would make sense. This would be the next supply if it can get over that. And it has the 100 here, 99, 93. Yeah, it needs to hop over 85. Then it has this 95 to 98. I mean, till it clears 100, then you have 112. Then you have this is going to be 100% rejection. I would bet my life on this. Whoever had shares here said, I don't want any anymore. He gave it all out here. You guys look at this. This is pretty massive here. So this level right here, 194, he dumped, then he unloaded some more at 140. And now I guess somehow they're protecting this level from the previous demand zone. Is the intention for you, Drew, long swing shares? What is it?
Oh no, somebody's asking from YouTube.
Oh, okay. On smaller time frames, if you're looking to play this, I mean, it looks pretty choppy. Looks very choppy on smaller time frames. I mean, this is the range right now that it's in. It's pretty much like a range top. Yeah. This level is pretty important where it rejected. So we need to hop over this range here and then kind of go from, I wouldn't touch it while it's in this cloud here. Personally, I'll potentially enter a short if it shows weakness here and then how the earnings go. No, it's a tiny company. Yeah, it's a small company. Yeah, maybe short.
Probably why it's so choppy.
Yeah, it's not, it doesn't seem liquid at all. Yeah, this is not very liquid, I would say. But your buying opportunity for shares would be somewhere in the bottom here in the 50s. I would say I would look to buy it somewhere in this range rather. If I was to buy shares, I would not, but I would look at this range here. Seems like to be holding for dear life right now. So you can play a bounce here. You're going to get one at 74. Lose that, you're going 50. TQQ. This is the bullish one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go somewhere around this level. I mean, we already tapped this range. Think we get a bounce from here. That's what it looks like at least. Yeah, it looks like we want to bounce. We had a bearish or bullish anomaly here on the daily. We're trying to close, but it would take some buyers to show up at the year end, which I'm not anticipating many to show up here. Otherwise, you're just, if you think about this, you're just in this range right here. So it's a good, if you think about ranges, this is a pretty good buy, but it's risky just because it's year end too. And then from here, you guys would know what to do there, I believe. At this level, it would be a fairly easy short. Just because they accumulated here for quite a long period. 34 days before they broke the range of that tiny, whatever that is. But $3.60 range for 34 days, that's pretty tight. So I would definitely short it here. Go long here, but you should have swung calls already. And it looks like we're about to come back down. They have a little bit more to push, but let's see if they want to get around this. Not a bad idea to enter some puts.
It's a nice belly down.
Yeah, it has, I mean, literally nothing here to fill till this level right here. So, yep, I would think this is gonna come back here shortly. Whoever's trading futures, not a bad spot. Okay, what else you guys got?
Amazon.
Man, it's been dying since this level here.
There was like some article a couple weeks ago. It lost $1 trillion in value.
Yeah, I mean, I would think this is your, I don't know if I have to tell you more. This is fairly easy. If they hop over this level here, I mean, they have a nice little supply they created right here. So kind of 86, 82 would be a nice rejection. That's where you had this balance as well. So if you wanted to grab from here, you could do that as well. And here, if you regain this, then you're sitting here when these are your entries for shorts. But this here is massive shelf here. It's gonna be a pretty big shelf here on the short side. If they decide to run, you have the value area low here. It should be kind of like SR flip at 87. So I will look for this shelf here, and then obviously this 90 level is going to be brutal here on it. If it can hop forward that, then you have this level here, and I think this would be a fairly easy short on it. So smaller time frames, it's very close to short. If it hops over, you have the 86, 81, and this is where you play quick. You don't kind of stay in for a very long time just because the supplies are also tiny, small time frames. This is a 15 minutes, so you could get in, you'll get a reaction, you probably could pick up 10, 15%, and then go from there. What else you guys got?
Thank you.
Nothing else? Anyone?
Disney.
I heard some bad news about Disney here from a friend. All right, so it's pretty clean. Oh, that is nice. Drew, what would you do?
I would be shorting 91.11 there. That
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, it's a pretty good short here.
Yeah.
I would definitely just short it here in this zone here. And if you go about maybe 1 hour, I'll give you the same picture probably. Very close level. What is it saying about 90? Yep. So we dropped from this and now we accumulated. So let's see, right? So if this demand can take out this supply right here, which I don't think it's gonna happen, but let's see. I doubt it's gonna take out 91. I was short at 90, 91. Starbucks, I put my orders in for this, for shares at 70. So let's see how they do. I would love to get it somewhere right here. Everybody know why? Actually, let me just step back. Is this the same setup that we just saw on this? Right? You see it? Support, support, support. Support, support, support. And then it flipped, came back for a retest. This, on higher time frames didn't do that yet. On smaller time frames, it did on 4 hours, and then it has a bearish volume anomaly so far. So if it comes up to this level, it's a pretty good short. We should keep an eye on this. Somebody can remind us.
Yeah, I just took
Starbucks.
a note.
So if you guys think about this, why
You
did
should just
Starbucks
set an
bounce here?
alert.
I just hate when I'm trading and I start getting tons of alerts. Why do we bounce here?
Accumulation, distribution, accumulation.
Yeah, fairly simple, guys. That's what we teach, right? I mean, so here you had this. What did I do? They dipped below it, right? They went to the value area low and went up. And this is not a really strong supply demand zone, I would say somewhere below. Yeah, there it goes. This is the demand zone that might interest you in Starbucks right here. There's this one here and this one here. So if you grab this from here to here, you'll have two clusters, 87 and then 79. And then the value area low is the one that's fairly interesting to me here, this range. I'll put it at 70, so let's see. Oh, cat, I know a lot of you guys are looking at it. So I would, as you guys notice here, something on the bottom. They're not really interested in buying this so far. I mean, they had a candle here, descending volume here, and you're hitting the major supply here. The old time is at 246, I believe. Yeah. So a lot of retail is just head over toes on this one that, it's going to go higher. But I would say that, your volume is not agreeing with this. If you guys just look at this, it's going to come back to this mean eventually here at 200. So I think 225 is what we played last week. So this level here is going to be revisited fairly soon. Right here. Whoever this seller is right here, if you guys look, let me eliminate that candle because that's a massive candle there. So right here somewhere, what is this, 237? Is a fairly big level, and look at this, boop. Reject, reject, we hopped over it, so let's see what we do now. Right below this level, it kind of cleans up to 224, I would say. On the video. The video did, on a longer time frame, it did what we expected. This is pretty much the same setup that we just covered on this and a few other ones where SR flips happen. Here they had a support, they came under resistance, they came back again. And it's telling you the sellers are pretty aggressive at this level. And you just got a low volume profile. Look where we rejected. Price. So, and I don't know, this accumulation for me, if I look at it maybe on daily, might look better, but we're holding this here, but I would think we come back. I would say from here to here. Somewhere around 130 would be a good opportunity on a long swing buy. I would watch this, and we're probably going to get a bounce somewhere around here, 140, 141. We'll get a bounce there on the video. Right here, we're going to get a bounce. Bounce here. This is the buy for me. And on the longer time frames, I think there's a better, if they decide to have a market dump, Nvidia, I remember this level here would not be bad to acquire a lot of shares for me here. I'd be looking to grab a little bit more at this level. And I'll get there. AMD has a bear flag on the monthly and a bearish piercing candle here, so. Yep, so I'll be interested if we get up to this level 67-ish. I'll look, there's just not a lot of supply there. This was a fake supply here or fake. So let's see what they have. This would be a good level for a short. This would be a really, really good level for a short if they can push it to that level. I don't think we're gonna see this before the year end. Eventually, I would say might come up to that 65 level, get a rejection, and if that hops over that, finding gap ups, we'd be looking at this level here, and then I would think we reject this SR here, and then here's the next level, 70. Baidu, oof. What happened to their volume? Holy shit. Do you guys see this? Wow. It's a nasty looking chart. Depends what you're interested in trading, right? If you're interested in trading this for shares, you could grab some at 94, and eventually you're gonna get a better entry at like 78-ish. That's on 4-hour supply. So if we lose this level, which we lost here, 112, and there's more talks about China opening up more. So we could see a gap up, and I don't know how they're doing right now. I would think you're gonna get a bounce here at the 109 level. 107.41, and then this here will be a tiny little shelf. I don't think this will carry much weight. If shares, this is the level right here. But then, kind of this and that. So it depends what you're doing, Bridget. If you're looking quick option swings, what are you aiming for?
Retest of resistance.
No, I was just wondering what is she planning on doing? Because here you had two
Oh.
accumulations identical. You had this one, and then you had this one. So if they bring it back inside of this, if smaller time frame, if you're looking for a quick entry for day, like 108.65. If looking for longer swing entries, it's way below. I mean, it has ways to go. About $78 my swing long. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Could do that on smaller time frames, but you would need to, there's this shelf here that you would look to go long on 111, 110. I think that'll be a good entry for a day trade. If you grab it here somewhere, which is this level, 110. And then you have a big supply sitting right here where we're rejecting now. Look at that. 113, so you could do that. 110, about $3.40 on it. I'm assuming you saw a full send somewhere. You wouldn't be looking at it. Okay, what else you guys got? And for a lot of you guys that, I'll just state this before hop off, we're entering a new year. So if you've been doing something in 2022 and it wasn't working, you have to take some advice or some learnings and apply something different than that simple, right? I'm trying to simplify what I'm doing for you guys here, especially with the accumulations and just finding the setups that, guys, it works on literally every single time frame. I promise it works. But if you're looking at, a 3-minute time frame, 2-minute time frames, like for instance here, right? If I was to trade this, I can't expect a 2-minute demand that I get 30 points, right? Like if I'm getting back in here, then I can go to the next high or previous low or vice versa, right? You have to be realistic with the expectations of your trade. If I'm gonna be going long at 3892, well, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to wait to get 40 points from here. I would just look at the shelf here that we are creating. There's a supply being created. If I get in on this level, well, I'm trying to get out right here, 3894, but that's because I'm on 2 minutes. I can't expect to see much more. If I go on 15 minutes, well, the landscape changes a little bit of an entry and what I'm expecting to see. If I do that, well, if you guys look, there's a nice little demand zone that was built here, and my entry would change. I would be waiting patiently at 3860 unless they protect this gap, but I would still be patiently waiting 3860. And if this doesn't happen, 30, what do we do?
You don't trade.
You don't trade. It's fairly simple, guys. And that's something that a lot of you guys struggle. And I see you becoming addicts to the market and you keep throwing money and you keep doing the same shit over and over, right? You have to find something that works. If you want to be, hey, every day I'm just going to look for 65-minute supplies and I'm going to trade them off of that level, right? Well, I mean, here for me, I would say this is a pretty good level for short, and depends how much you're giving. Let's say if I'm giving this level right here, let's say this is the entry for me, and I'm like, okay, this is my stop, and I want this to be my target. That's not a bad trade, guys. It's 2.6. I mean, no reason not to take the trade. Like, why not? Right?
Now, if you're using 65 minutes, are you still doing 0D contracts?
Well, this is futures. Yeah, I'm just talking about like futures. If
Oh,
you're
futures.
trading,
I guess that's
I mean,
true.
it would apply to everything else, right? This can, just like here, it took what, 465-minute candles to get there. It can happen in the day, but don't grab a 0D TE at 330 and expect this as it hits here to come back down, right? It can, right? Stairs up, elevator down, but the odds are not in your favor, if that makes sense. Then you're looking potentially play SPY and play the rejection of SPY and buy like 2 days out and you'll make money, right? So a lot of you guys, don't do the same thing that you did when you were losing money and expect it to work the same way in 2023. Adjust it, log your trades every day and see how it works. Like, see if something changes and reflect. I had somebody, that I work with, he said, man, he's never taken a stop loss before. Like on shares, think about that. You're investing money and you don't have a stop loss at all. Like what? Like, what do you mean you don't have a stop loss? Like, you're willing to lose all of it? Then wouldn't it be better to just go to casino and be like, hey man, put it all in black? It's quicker, it's dirtier, and you just go and get it done. You have to have a manager. It's about risk management, right? So if I have a plan that this is my trade, right? Let's say we got in on this candle right here. Well, now you're just managing the position, right? And if you're one of the people that you're like, man, I'm making a little bit of money, you can move your breakdown, break even point to, let's say, break even, or your stop loss to break even where you can't lose money. But that's not trading. That's you being scared for your money and you're limiting your loss. You cannot make money if you're not willing to lose some money, right? You got to accept that this game, you're going to lose money. So in 2023, I suggest, or at least if you're fairly new and you're learning volume profile, or if you struggled before, Do it for yourself. Do it for whoever you're, whatever the reason you're trading for, right? Change the behavior. Change to 1 trade a day and wait for the setup. Look at, 3 stocks, whether you trade SPX, SPY, or whatever you trade. Focus on 3 stocks. See the setups you would go long and short. Whatever hits first based off your plan, execute. And I promise your account will start growing. But you gotta have a plan. You gotta find the setups that work. I'm gonna go along here. Okay, then go along at that level and stick to your plan. Drew is one of the guys that he gives, before when I met him, he would give a great plan. But Drew, did you execute on your own plan before?
Not enough.
He would give bangers to people and then he would do stupid shit for his account.
That's me.
And we had a couple of one-on-ones. I don't know how many we've had. And I'm like, dude, like you tell everybody else what to do, but then you don't take your own advice. As a trader, you need confidence, right? And what's a better way to have confidence than when you log trades? Would you say that helped you, Drew, when you started logging some trades?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Guys, it will change the behavior. It will change the psyche of the way you trade. I promise it will help. So if you want to do it for yourself, do it for me. I will help you log your trades. You have the opportunity to have one-on-ones with me. I do not charge like many other people in their Discords $300-400 an hour. I give them to you for free, guys. All I ask for is for patience, just because we have, I had couple this morning. I had couple the day before that. I mean, it takes time. If everybody asked for an hour, I wouldn't have any hours for myself or family. So I'm willing to help you, but you got to help yourself first, and you got to put the effort in. And try to change something, and in this year that's coming up, right? Let the year be, no matter what it is, let it be green. And if you can do that, that's a big plus. Once you get in the habit of creating green trades and looking at the logs and what you did right, I promise it makes it that much easier to continue later on. But if you're the trader that's just willing to lose money and reload it with money because you have a side hustle or a job or whatever that might be, then you're just gambling. I mean, at this point, it's probably better off for you to quit than it is to continue gambling. You got to change the behavior, guys. Okay. And you guys saw the short opportunity here at 3,900. Look, it's working. Let's see what they do now. All right, guys. Well, thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see what the market gives us and if our levels are respected, and we'll make some money.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Shorty.
Shorty.
Thank you, Shorty.
Will you be live tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be live.
Appreciate it.
All right, Shorty. Good night. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Good night.
Bye, brother.